Good morning, everybody. This is Chris Mizo here, and we're going to talk about PC and tech, especially today. There is a lot to certainly highlight. Hopefully everybody's morning or afternoon or evening, wherever you are across the world, has been doing well. We're just about to get started. Now, if anybody has any questions upcoming, especially there has been quite a lot of news that has been coming in. Good morning, Takuma. Welcome in. Glad to see you here. And without further ado, let's get started. Welcome to the channel. I'm Chris Mizo. I talk about PC and tech here, and we have the brand new ASUS ROG Ally Xbox edition here with us. Currently, we're testing it out. So far, it's been pretty impressive for the most part, which I'm certainly excited to share a little bit more information on that if you have any questions about that device. But there's been more than interesting news, I have to say, when it comes to the whole side of MSI power supplies and the whole burnups. There's been actually 4 incidences this past week about burnt up power supplies. Well, not really power supplies, but more cables into the GPU. Mostly all RTX 5090s, if anything, and it seems that it's more of the same issue, where I believe that there has been a problem more or so with connection issues. That's hard to say, especially that 4 new cases have arrived, and it's hard to say if it's actually, like, if anyone's actually installing it flush instead of showing the yellow, as we see that's a pretty common mistake for that to happen. What's up, LSG? Well, thank you for joining, Takuma. Yeah, I see you got the wonderful star. Thanks to Takuma. Thanks to Xenomorphing. Hopefully we see him later here today. And I do have to state his question once we get a bit more viewers in. Right now I got the actual Xbox Ally just plugged in, and I just got a current benchmark off of it. This is how it looks like for anyone that wants to see it. That's the current benchmark that we have currently. It's about like 9201 on Firestrike currently, and I'm going to be running a lot more tests. It took a little bit to install more information on it, to install the games and the benchmarks, because we're going to see how well it compares to the original ASUS ROG Ally, which we actually have right behind us. But I definitely can say it definitely seems to stay a bit cooler, which is nice, because the other one can get pretty dang hot. What's up, Amir? I'm glad that you're here. I'm stoked that we have people joining in our membership. If you aren't familiar with the membership on YouTube or subscription on Twitch, feel free to join. It's always an optional thing. You don't have to join it. Just by you subscribing or even just liking the channel certainly does help support. Even joining the Discord does also help out the support. You can feel free to go down to the description box down below in order to do so. And I promise it's nowhere near expensive as Xbox Game Pass. As of course, if you haven't heard, they already pushed up the prices to $30. Kind of rough, especially that they're releasing this brand new device by ASUS, the ASUS Xbox ROG Ally X Xbox Edition. It's so much to say. We definitely got to find a shorter name for it. So, can it run Borderlands 4? Yeah, you know what? That's a great question. We could certainly run test. We'll give it a shot, see what happens, see how well it runs Borderlands 4. But I can tell you this. This is going to be quite interesting about the device. It actually runs Battlefield 6 pretty dang smooth. In fact, they could even run it all the way up to 120 frames. Of course, it can't be in full 1080p resolution. If it is in full 1080p, you won't be able to get the full exact. Oh, thank you, LSG. Thanks so much for becoming a member. I do really appreciate it. Welcome to the members access. Make sure you stay tuned with the post and everything. Uh, and I'm sure you can tell everybody it's nowhere near as expensive as Xbox Game Pass. But speaking of which, when it comes to the ASUS Xbox, I'm just going to call it the Xbox Ally. It's so much more easier to say. But it can certainly run up to 120 frames on Battlefield 6. It has to run at 720p. Of course, it has to run at about... You can run it some settings at medium and some at low. But I'm definitely going to go in depth with a bit more of a guide for anybody that does want to take advantage of a Xbox Ally in order to do so. There's going to be quite a few games I definitely want to test on. Borderlands 4 is a great mention. We could definitely look into that. You know what's funny though? Did you know the drop-off rate currently for Borderlands 4 since Battlefield 6, that you can blame it on Battlefield 6, and of course it is a single-player game, so not everyone's going to really repeat the single player campaign mode once again, but the drop-off rate was down to 85%. Can you believe that? 85% of players stopped playing Borderlands 4 and hopped on Battlefield 6. It might not come to a surprise, but what I'm really curious about is when Black Ops 7 does release, and if there's going to be quite a switch from Black Ops, from people playing Battlefield 6 to Black Ops 7. And hopefully, I'm kind of hoping not. I'm hoping Battlefield 6 is here to stay. And so far it seems that it is, as servers are still getting full till this day. So test Battlefield 6. We have Battlefield 6 grind to do, Chris. Play a bit to catch up. I'm at level 25. Yeah, currently I'm like at level 15 currently. I hope everyone's been doing great on Battlefield 6. Hey, you know what's funny? The whole time I've been playing, like, I would say not the whole time, but a good probably 60% of the time that I was playing, I was trying to play as a medic with a sniper. So that didn't really turn out well. And I was always thinking, how come I don't really perform maximum damage? Or why do I constantly seem like I'm not really hitting the target too well? And then I've learned that the recon class really does matter. That if in order for you to enjoy sniping in the game, if you just join the recon class, it makes so much of a difference. And after doing so, I can certainly be, now I'm not dying as much as a medic. As I wanted to take advantage of the challenges, as such as like running over and reviving people, because that was one of the challenges I had, was to revive up to 100 people. So I thought, hey, why don't I just use the sniper and be able to revive at the same time? Tried to do it, and man, that was a fail. So yes, nobody's, yeah, I don't think so either. I definitely do want to do a Battlefield 6 stream. I would love for all of us to definitely join together. It would be great. Battlefield 6 would be quite the matchup, and it seems like everybody I've known has actually gotten a game. A good amount of people, like 60 or 70% of people I know, has got Battlefield 6 compared, and there's so much more excitement about it recently, about this whole Battlefield 6 compared to playing Call of Duty. Call of Duty was kind of like, oh, are you getting the new Call of Duty? Yeah, I'm gonna get it, because it felt like something that you had to get because everyone had it. But now with Battlefield 6, it's more like everyone's excited to play it. I hope to see you on tonight, or I hope we got a squad tonight, and it's just a lot more excitement around it. And of course, there is so much more you can do. And you know what the funny thing too is that they do have like this whole Battlefield labs, like where you can actually test drive the jets or practice on the jets before you actually enter the game. That's something I have yet still learned to do too well. I tried to fly a helicopter the other day, and that didn't turn out too well, as I don't know if I forgot how to do it. I remember I did it well in Battlefield 4 was the last one I really played, and but like once I got into the helicopter, it did not go the way as planned. I went out of bounds and then died. What's up, Death Striker? Xenomorph, we were just talking about you. Yeah, we got 2 new members, Xenomorph. That's going to be part of the club. I still haven't gotten Battlefield 6. It's definitely a fun time. If you do get Battlefield 6, you're in for a great time. it's and Speaking of hardware side, I do have to bring this up, and this is going to be an interesting case for anybody that currently has an MSI power supply. Ironically, I have one too. I have the MSI Mag 850, but yet to have real issues. I've actually unplugged it quite a few times to see how it's if there's any type of burns or any type of wear when it comes to MSI's power supply, but so far I haven't quite seen anything as significant compared to some of these discovered ones here. So I'm going to show you on Reddit. It's pretty insane. Let me just show you guys. So if we're looking here, you can see that there's a burnt power supply cable, specifically the 12-volt high power port. And he describes it that just a few weeks ago on his MSI Ventus 5090 came to light. So that's, again, the pattern that we're seeing here is that more 5090s seem to be burning. And this was tagged on MSI's gaming forum. So at first glance, it's just a cable, but the photo and the graphics card connector seem to be having an issue. So you see that pin, it's pretty much burnt out. Hopefully you guys on mobile could see that pretty clearly. It's just like a burnt pin. Luckily, hopefully it's not significant damage, but who knows? Hopefully it doesn't damage the actual pin in there, or actually end up like overvolting that side, because then of course that's going to render the GPU not really at 100%. More than likely it's still functional, but it's probably not going to perform as well as it did. So Battlefield 6, yeah, Battlefield 6, they're out there. That's the funny thing, MVG. They're definitely out there. 12 or 16 gigabytes VRAM enough or not? Not going to play the latest AAA title, but still 3D and 2D games mixed. So I'd say 16 gigabytes is like the new norm now, especially if you're trying to play new AAA titles. Now this comes to the fault when it comes to the developer side. Developers need to, hopefully they become better, and hopefully they get down to, this is a lot of hoping really, and to kind of like a wishing that developers would do this much better, but they need to be able to start again, like with their whole new engine. Stop relying on something like Unreal Engine 5, as we've seen it's been a bit catastrophic. More than likely, we're going to hear an announcement of Unreal Engine 5.7, but it's probably going to be more or so the same thing. I don't predict we'll hear anything for like Unreal Engine 6 probably till the next gen, which is going to be the next gen of PlayStation 6. More than likely a next gen of an Xbox, and then we'll hear about Unreal Engine 6. And hopefully there will be quite vast improvements instead of going downhill. Because a lot of developers are relying on something like Unreal Engine 5 to really put their 3D models in and let the engine do more of the work. And that is what's causing a lot of issues, because it's going to take up a lot more resources, such as your GPU. It also takes up your resources when it comes to your CPU, and even up to your RAM. So I'd say like the minimum requirements, especially for AAA games currently, is at least 16 gigabytes of VRAM, and you also need at least 32 gigabytes of RAM in order to really enjoy any type of AAA gaming. Now, again, keyword AAA, because there's a lot of games out there that aren't AAA that you could certainly enjoy that doesn't have such a hefty requirement. So even if you're playing 1080p, it's good to have that. It's good to have that filler, because you're going to certainly need it, especially when they add DLC, or they're going to add new texture packs. And we were just talking about this the other day, just like what is it? Release of Tarkov, I think it is. That's quite a significant increase in hardware, especially with the new version of it. You even have to purchase the new game in order to see these significant upgrades, and again, hefty requirements in order to play it. So NVIDIA cards blasting off is no more news to me. That's why I changed my plan and decided to include AMD RX in my upcoming build. I gotcha, that makes sense. Hey, we are growing. I thought about something to talk about. Favorite OS system of all time for me. So that's a great question. Xenomorph has asked here, and he says that what is everybody's most favorite OS of all time? For me personally, I gotta say I love Windows 7. I thought Windows 7 was best thing since sliced bread, as we say here in the US. Best thing is sliced bread. It's definitely one of the best OSs. Next to, I'd say it's actually close between XP and 7, because XP was quite innovative, and 7 kind of really changed the game. I know Vista was out and it was kind of like 7, but 7 was just so light. That's what was really nice about it. It was a really light OS, and you didn't have to worry about so much like tracking as much as you do now, especially on Windows 11. And it's funny, we'll speak about the new Windows 11, which is, there is a new update coming up that we can all certainly expect. But I'd say for me, Windows 7. I love the versatility of it. I loved how light it was, and it did exactly what you needed to do. And it was the most minimal OS, in my personal opinion. Now, looks like MSI had Monday morning a situation in a series. If they make a recall next week, we will know if it's PSU issues. Certainly, we will. And you know what's funny though? Like, because of this whole situation, it's very tempting just to take out that power supply and just put in the always promised and the best, personally to me, is the Seasonic power supplies. I love them, and let's just go for an upgrade. Let's go with the 1200 watt power supply and just change out this MSI one, as who wants to take risk on it? So Death Striker, if you can go for the 9070 XT, there's nothing better. Certainly, if you go for the 9070 XT, you will certainly love it. It's definitely the most valued and the best graphics card out there when it comes to gaming. Now, the keyword is if you're not going to go 4K and everything, then that's definitely the best GPU for that, because it can go 1440, 240 hertz. You won't have a issue with that. So the 9070 XT is definitely the most affordable and definitely the best in the GPU class when it comes to its value, for sure. So Vista, oh man, you're a Vista fan. That's an interesting one, LSG. So I hate the 9070 XT, even though the NVIDIA is not the best. Xenomorph, thanks, I will go for it. So Windows 7, nice. Okay, 11. Oh, you really like 11 MVG. That's a first. I bet. You know what's funny? I should bring this up. It's pretty funny. Now, Linux Mint Cinnamon Edition for me does everything I need and looks just like Windows 7. Nice. Yeah, Linux is a great system. When I got Windows 7 in 2010, I remember playing with the start button for 20 minutes and the glow after XP. Oh yeah, yeah, that was to be missed. If you get the 9070 XT, just don't get the gaming overclock. I'm just warning you all. MVG hasn't had a great experience with his. The one I do highly recommend is the Sapphire Nitro Plus. That one's a great one. Or even the Tai Chi. Now, the Tai Chi GPU, 9070 XT, not the motherboard, the Tai Chi GPU. Okay, let's get that straight. So don't think about matching. Don't think about matching everything with Ace Rock. So if you do happen to get a GPU and the only thing you see is a Ace Rock, Tai Chi, overclock, gaming, 9070 XT, that's worth getting. Just don't get the motherboard. So this was just one of the cases that we had here, which is pretty insane. So we're going to go back into the browser here, and there's another one that I would like to show you, because they're all linked right here. And here's another one. This one's burnt pretty significantly. You can see that all 6 pins up on the top are burnt. So the indication is it seems like more the top row is burning. Obviously, none of the ones on the bottom is burning as much. So this one, another Ventus 3 times. So here's a pattern here, right? A Ventus. So it's a MSI Ventus RTX 5090 and with a MSI power supply. So they're all trying to match MSI components with each other. So apparently he had a black screen and he still had inconsistencies where his PC would freeze up mid-game and turn black screen and crashing even. And then so it started flickering like crazy. Sure, a tell sign. And then next thing, you find something like this. Can you imagine that? Just finding this type of damage, like when you're using the GPU. Now, I had, so the 9060 XT is a pretty good choice too, right? Oh yeah, absolutely. 9060 XT is actually a great choice to go as well. If you don't have to go 9070 XT if you don't really have the cash to do so. Even the 9060 XT, make sure it's 16 gigabytes. I know it's confusing because for the 9070s at least, when you get a 9070, you know it's 8 gigabytes. When you get a 9070 XT, you know it's 16 gigabytes. But when it comes to 9060 XT, you want to make sure that it says 9060 XT 16 gigabytes, because not all 9060 XTs are made equal in VRAM, unfortunately, because they do have them in a 8 gigabyte variant, which they also call XT. I don't know why they did that. They should have not done that, because that just makes it a whole lot more confusing for anyone that is looking for a GPU, or anyone who thought they got a 9060 XT for an excellent deal. So I had the XFX 9070 XT Montech Air, and it was a beast. Absolutely a great GPU. XFX is another GPU that is well underrated. XFX is actually one of the first manufacturers that actually worked with NVIDIA. I remember XFX. I'm sure anybody from back then remembers XFX with NVIDIA. BFG used to be with NVIDIA. They also had, of course, EVGA with NVIDIA. PNY, they weren't really working. They didn't really work on graphics cards that much back then. I think they did, but they were still not like a large favorite. They were more used for like on the RAM side. But those were top manufacturers that actually used to work for NVIDIA, and then they all kind of hopped off and went towards the AMD side. So I had, and did you notice the pattern? It's always the top 6 pins. Yes. And so it's all top 6 pins, right? So we go back here. We're going to take a look at another one here. And again, same thing. RTX 5090. Again, top 6 pins. So more than likely, obviously, a lot of the power is coming through up here onto the top. I would have to look at the electrical schematic to see how they have it wired here. But obviously, it could be that it's not plugged in all the way. That's usually indication when it's not plugged in all the way. And again, RTX 5090, but he doesn't describe exactly which 5090 he has. Maybe he does later, but again, it seems like mostly all 5090s that are running into this type of issue. So when it comes to XFX, look out for the size. They tend to make longer GPUs. You don't want 3 millimeters of free space left in your PC case. Absolutely. It's funny too, because a lot of people do underestimate the size of the 9070 XT. And it's certainly a lot bigger than many people think, especially for what this GPU really is. But again, it's a very good GPU, and I highly recommend it, especially if nobody has, not all of us have like $3,000 laying around. Unfortunately, to be able to purchase it, it would be nice to, but not all of us do. And again, 5090 is not exactly needed for everybody. A 5090 is more for those who want to explore into like heavy video editing, those into LLMs, those want to get super high refresh rates on a 4K monitor. Those are the type of people that need like something really heavy. But something like a 9070 XT will satisfy a good, decent 80% of gamers out there. What's up, Hypnotic Hideaway? What do you think about the 50 series? 50 series is certainly a decent series, but it's not the greatest. Definitely not the best, I would say, when it comes to NVIDIA's line, but it is their most current one. When it comes to the 50 series, like if I had to choose for the gamer side, if you wanted to get a RTX 50 series card, I usually highly recommend the 5070 Ti and the 5080. Reason being because you have that 16 gigabytes, which is like the minimal that you need for GPUs nowadays. And you certainly have enough ray tracing and path tracing that you need in those cards. Now, what would even be better is once they release the 50 series supers, I think would fill a lot of that gap, especially when the 5070 Ti Supers, which more than likely are going to be about 20 gigabytes. And when it comes to the 5080 Supers, then you can get that sweet spot, which is that 24 gigabytes, which is going to be perfect for everybody in the gaming side. Then it would kind of render the 5090 as not needed, especially for those who are doing like larger gaming and higher refresh rate monitors, unless you're trying to do something like crazy like 8K gaming or something. So MSI, ASUS, ROG Gigabyte Power. Thanks for following, Frozen. I appreciate it, Frozen. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the Twitch channel as well. Thank you. Ernesto, good morning. So Hypnotic. So I also pre-ordered the Xbox. It's beautiful. So guys, if you're wondering about it, feel free to ask questions. Let me get out of the browsing mode. Feel free to ask questions if anybody's concerned about this whole burning issue about the 12-volt high power ports, especially in MSI power supplies. It seems like the pattern's more that it's more 5090s and power supplies related. So far, my indication is that there's a lot of people out there that think that they plug in the 12-volt high power port all the way, but then it's not really technically flushed, because for a flush position, you want to make sure that none of the yellow pins are showing. If a little bit are showing, then it's not plugged in. So I don't know why, but it seems that it's a common misconception that if there's a little bit of yellow pins showing, that you feel like, oh, okay, it must be in. But it has to have none showing, no color whatsoever. So the Xbox Ally, this is currently how it looks like. Feel free to ask questions about it. It's quite a decent device. Definitely stays cooler. I can't wait to measure out the temperatures to give you the confirmation. The grips wise, it feels really nice in hand. It certainly is nice to hold compared to like something like the ASUS ROG Ally, which is actually right behind me. ASUS ROG Ally is something more like this. Still a great device. I got the dock sticking on it. So this is the original one. And for the original one, again, it's a little bit more flat, but it's still very comfortable to hold. It has a little bit, it's a bit more portable in that sense. But when it comes to the ASUS Xbox ROG Ally Xbox Edition, it does stick out quite a bit. So you get a better handle on it, which is nice. And the thing is, it's definitely lighter than you expected. I thought it was going to be a bit heavier. I always expect heavier for some reason, but I'm pretty impressed so far with it. Again, if anyone's curious, you could certainly get Battlefield 6 up to 120 frames if you want to on the ASUS ROG. I'm just going to call it the Xbox Ally X, I guess, edition. It certainly can do those numbers without issue. I'm definitely excited to post up a video about it. I'm going to be working hard throughout the day today to make sure to get all the full benches and give you my full 100% thoughts on this product. Again, this is not a sponsored product, just to let everybody know out there. ASUS didn't send me this one. This one is actually something that's been I'm testing for myself, because I want to know if it really is going to be that much an improvement over the predecessor, especially for anybody that's concerned who has their original ASUS ROG Ally and wants to see if there's really that much of a difference, especially that there's a new interference for the original one where it's almost similar to the new Armory Crate that is with the Xbox ROG Ally X. So I have the Xbox Ally X. That's the one I have. So I have the 5080, and I made sure I pushed the cable as far as I could. Good. Definitely, that's what you needed to do. You did it right, Fusion. Because we get it all the time in Discord. If anybody hasn't followed the Discord channel, or you want to send pictures, you want to send links, feel free to join the Discord channel. It's down in the description box down below, or just you can easily find it on the website. It's on www.chrismizo.com, just like the channel's name. And if you go there, just click that Discord picture, and that will actually take you to join into the FanBam server. And it's free. You don't have to have a membership to join the Discord server. But just to put it out there, we definitely have memberships. Feel free if you would like to. It's certainly optional, but just by you being here is certainly support as it is. So I still got 4 days to get mine. I'm excited for you, Hypnotic. I bet you can't wait to play it. If you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to ask. I'll definitely investigate it for you. We came a long way from Xbox 360, but does it have Kinect? I remember, you know what's funny? Remember when Kinect really, we all thought that was going to be like this big thing. We thought Kinect was going to change it. And I remember it had this like, this zoo game that it had with it. But after then, it's like, it kind of just disappeared. It made sense like for the like games like Just Dance, because that was like a really big thing back then when it came with the when it came to Xbox and the Kinect. But it's just funny like how it just like gets put to the side. And when these gaming companies such as like even PlayStation, when they came out with their motion controllers, similar to what the Wii had, it just kind of like faded out real quick. So it's funny how they all tried to do something unique and then it just doesn't work out. Even the PlayStation VR, you don't really hear too much about it, but people do get it. And but it seems that the VR that is really outlasting everyone is honestly MetaQuest, because you can actually use that without a PC if you don't have to. And if you want to use it for a PC, if you want to play something like Half-Life Alyx, you can use something like a MetaQuest, which is nice. So I got through an Xbox Ally X, the Bulwark dock, and D-brand kills switch case. Oh, awesome. Do you think the $1,000 price tag is reasonable? I can't say quite yet. I gotta do more testing. I gotta say it's definitely feels nice in hand so far from what I see. It feels definitely nice in hand. I do like how it feels. It has the stipling and everything with the grips. Certainly do help it a lot. It feels a bit more texturized compared to the original Ally. You can see the slight improvements that they have. Some of the disappointments for me personally when it comes to the ASUS ROG Ally is the fact that they still don't have Hall effect sticks. Why did they not put that on there? Especially because that is like a high request ever since the original Ally. I've installed the Hall effect sticks in my original one. So that's my biggest beef so far with it. I'd say the controls are still quite a bit sensitive, but it's not nearly as bad as the original Ally. But again, I'm going to do a ton of testing and I'll give you a full breakdown of my thoughts of the Xbox Ally X. But if there's anything you're looking for, anything in specific, feel free to ask. Good morning. What's up, Wasabi? I'm glad to see you. You know, Takuma's a part of the members now. We got Takuma, we got General, we got quite a gang now. So I waited for years and years, and finally it gave me the result. My recording part of the setup already completed. Now waiting for the PC part. Now I have some questions, really quick questions about coil whine and how much it's acceptable. Okay, so when it comes to coil whine, when you have this typically happens a lot when you have a newer card. Coil whine is going to happen, and that's without a doubt. On any card that you have, it will happen, especially when you first install it. Now, if you play it more often, the coil whine will certainly reduce. It's almost like a break-in period for the GPU. And once you get through that side, it should become like pretty minimal. You shouldn't hear it as much. In fact, you should typically hear the fans. The fan should be louder than the coil whine. If the coil whine's louder than the fans, then that would be a bit problematic. But again, it depends on the person, how much they can take, and all cards are also made different. So not everyone's going to have the same exact coil whine on their GPU. Even though, just say if I had the ASUS ROG Astral RTX 5080 and another person had it, our GPUs won't have quite the same coil whine. Ours could be a little bit different. Now, there's going to be a common aspect of it where the coil whine is similar, but it's not going to be the same loudness, so to say. So, I get it's expensive, reasonable. I'm sure it's the most powerful handheld out there if you're not counting the crazy ones for $2,500. Certainly, speaking of those $2,500 ones, I honestly don't feel like those are 100% not worth it, because at that point, just why don't you just build a PC? I get there's people out there that travel a lot, but I mean, come on. Honestly, you could get a laptop for like $2,500. So I mean it beats $1,000 PC and performance weights, so it's kind of worth it. Yeah, I mean, again, it's hard to say. That's gonna, you know what, that would actually make a great video, like $1,000 Ally versus $1,000 PC, and see which one has the better benching, right? That's actually a great idea. I'll actually write that down somewhere if I do like that idea. So I got this expensive. It sounds reasonable, but so got in late last night. I did the night shift. Oh, that's kind of rough. Have you been hitting up the gym like you wanted to, Wasabi? I know that's one thing you've been trying to get in, and hopefully you're recovered from your injury. So they can't give Hall effect sticks here, and Cosmic Byte has a whole launch with TMR sticks and TMR switches. Oh yeah, of course. It's the first $1,000 price tag console handheld. I can't imagine the price of the PlayStation 6 and the new Xbox. You know what's crazy? Now, the highest rumor that I've been hearing with the new Xbox console, that's going to be more than likely over $1,000. So for any console players out there, to give you fair warning, just switch to PC. You don't have to pay $30 a month. You don't have to worry about sticking with a certain aspect of the console, buying a specific, like for example, the expansion drive for Xbox Series X. You need to buy an expansion drive in order for you to expand your storage, correct? And now you're paying another $200 or $300 for a part where it should only cost you like $50 to really expand. So there you go. Just building a PC will save you in the long run. I will join the membership early next year. Awesome, Wasabi. Again, no rush in joining. Just I'm just having fun here. I posted your video on Discord whenever you get a chance. Okay, sure. We'll take a look at it, certainly. Hey, okay. I look forward to seeing you soon, Blue. I think I'm gonna buy a Steam Deck before buying an Ally. You know, the question is, I'm curious when Steam Deck 2 is released. When Steam Deck 2 does get released, that is going to be quite the monster. I bet Gabe Newsom has something cooking. He definitely does. He's definitely cooking something up in the kitchen back there. Because you know for sure that Steam Deck 2 is going to be the competition when it comes to handhelds. Because, I mean, the original Steam Deck has been out for the longest, and it still holds quite a strong title. Everybody loves the Steam Deck, and rightfully so. So just imagine when they come out with the Steam Deck 2. Wait, what's going on? I can't see the comments. Oh, really? Where's Wasabi? Oh, really? You can't see Wasabi? That's weird. Wasabi, you should be there. Did it freeze up the yeah, he just passed. It was just, maybe it's still, it just passed because there's like a certain limit. But Wasabi is here though. I am not expecting a new Xbox. Yeah, that's a possibility too, because that's also the rumor that Xbox is going to kind of give up and just say like, hey, we're going to just have PCs practically. So when they do have it, it's technically going to be a PC. They'll probably call it the new Windows PC that is out. Oh, there's also an interesting screenshot I got to share with you guys. And I'm going to leak this with you guys because I think it's pretty funny. Take a look at this. I just happened to upgrade a program. And let me see. I know I got it in here somewhere. Let me see. Okay. So I was opening one of my programs here, right? And I got a license expired. No big deal. So this is what I wanted to show you guys. So let me go here to shared screen. Let's see. Maybe I'll just go into here. And just give me a moment because I'll show you what I see right now. Right there. So if you look closely, right? You see what that says? So there's a good indication that there's going to be Windows 12, version 12, it seems like. So it seems like they are working on Windows 12. So I did find that interesting. That happened to me earlier in the week. I had to take a screenshot to share with you guys. So they are certainly working on another Windows. And also, there is a bit more I do want to talk to you more on the Windows side shortly, after I catch up in the comments. So, wait until you buy the 8 terabytes. I know, I really do want to get like that 8 terabyte SSD. I would love to. More than 1K, I can... That's insane. A mini office building. I like how the Xbox ROG Ally is super good, but the Xbox Ally is super horrible. And you know what's funny? If anybody's just getting the standard Xbox Ally, it's practically this. You might as well just purchase this, because this is the original Xbox. I mean, the original Ally. If you get the original Ally, the standard Xbox edition is just like this. So don't waste your money on getting the Xbox edition version. Just get the Ally. You're gonna save half of your money. You could get an Ally used on the market for as low as $400. So why would you want to spend extra on a base Xbox Ally? Because you're going to be practically wasting your money. So yes, he is completely right on that side. Because the specifications, even though it has the new AMD Ryzen, it would be the Z2A. So it's not quite the same as the Z2 Extreme. So don't be fooled by the processor size. The biggest difference is on the newest Xbox Ally is that the processor on this. So let me share it with you guys who haven't seen. I just shared a benchmark with you guys of where'd it go? Let me pull it up. So I just shared a benchmark with you guys. So far on Firestrike, got a score of 9201 on Firestrike, and so that's pretty decent of a score. And we'll do a comparison with the original Ally, but that will be a separate video. The video that is going to come up is going to be more of an in-depth review about the ASUS ROG Ally Xbox Edition. The difference is this has a Z2 Extreme, which has the 8 cores and 16 threads. Almost similar to like what a 9800 X3D offers, but of course it's an SoC, so it has everything all in one, like practically an APU, where it's a GPU and a processor built in together. So, so mark my words, Windows 99 console is I agree. Console is becoming less critical. Oh, it's focusing on the, yeah, you know what? It likes the PC more than it does me. That's why. So, Takuma, stop buying pallets of the 5090s from MSI. He caused beef. That is fun. Yep, all Ally used $400. Your own Xbox Cloud and more beneficial, it seems. Absolutely. The Xbox Ally literally almost compares to the Steam Deck, which is 4 years old. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it doesn't make sense. Why would you get something like that? The 5090 heist on Sukuma worth it. Let me see. That I'm gonna have to look up, and you should do a video called Xbox Ally versus Steam Deck. That's a good one. Just gotta, you know, the thing that I can tell you right off the bat here is that I know that the Xbox, I know for Steam Deck, the OLED version, the display is obviously not going to be better than OLED, but it's going to be, but I should do something like that. Get a Steam Deck and then can do a comparison of those both. Or maybe a bit about all three of the devices. Maybe between the original Ally and the Xbox Edition and the Steam Deck, and compare all three. Now, the advantages that I do like about the Steam Deck is that it actually has a touchpad on there. Like, you can actually use your thumb to kind of move the cursor around. And it still has a desktop mode. It's practically Linux. It's just... instead of just it being Linux, it's a customized Linux. Similar to what they do with the Android OSs, like when it comes to phones. It's just on gaming devices. So its version is SteamOS, which the closest version to SteamOS would be Basslight, would be the closest version. You can even install that on a PC if you wanted to. I just don't recommend it, especially if you don't have, if you have something higher than the 1080p display, because if you do, it's when you go into the Steam mode, it's just going to automatically go to 1080p, and you can't adjust the resolution in the Steam mode. You would have to go into the desktop and be able to open up the game in order to play the resolution that you would like, for example, in 4K. So, so what are your thoughts about a Steam Deck OLED 1TB for it? That's a really good deal. Getting that Steam Deck for 1TB for $230, excellent deal. What should you replace? When should you replace Air? What do you mean? Do you mean the Air that you're getting inside of your case of the side glass? AIO. Oh, I was gonna say the AIO. You don't really have to replace it until you start seeing the temperatures like start raising up. I usually recommend anybody out there who has a PC or is thinking of getting a PC, you want to get HW Info 64. HW Info 64 will give you the measurements of temperature of your CPU. If you see that start to uptick and get higher, even it gets measurements of your AIO, you want to make sure that it's at a specific temperature. For example, 40 degrees is a normal temperature for it. So if you see it spike up, like say over 46, 47, well, typically when you start to see it failing, it'll actually upshoot. It'll go way higher. It'll just, your system won't even really turn on. You'll know when your AIO is bad. But when you see indications of it, like if you start it to see it slow down a bit, it'll go to like 45, 46 typically, and then you know that it's starting to fail, or it's starting to evaporate whatever's in there inside of the AIO. Also, I couldn't find the replacement. Yeah, so for the replacement, you're going to have to contact them. They won't sell it online. You're going to have to contact the manufacturer to get or to buy the replacement glass, unfortunately. I know Lian Li usually does it. Micro Center has them in stock. They typically do, especially on the O11s. They usually have them, but not on all the cases. For some reason, Lian Li is always prepared for it. So, that 2-case charger, yeah, I would say $230 is a good deal for it. Honestly, I was tempted to go Legion Go 2, but it wasn't using the same processor, and it doesn't have the same 100-watt-hour battery, so I had to pass. Makes perfect sense. Legion Go's a bit pricey, in fact. The Legion Go 2 is like up to $1,400, which even exceeds the price of the Xbox Ally X. It's $1,400, 8.8-inch display. It does have, they do have a model where it's a Z2 Extreme, and I think it goes up to 32 gigabytes, so it's a little bit bigger when it comes to the memory side. But other than that, it's not going to be a drastic difference. It's an OLED display also as well, so that's going to be interesting. But the thing is, if you really want to spend the extra $400 to $500 for a better device, and again, like at that point, you might as well just build a PC. So unless you have an overclocked 14900 KS, yeah, that's a good point. If you have the 13th or 14th gen, then 50 degrees for the AIO might be pretty normal for you. I think 8 years is a good time to change that. That's a good point. Typically, I would go by the warranty standards. Like if, for example, if you know Corsair's AIO has a 5-year warranty, typically. If it's over the 5-year mark, that's a good indication, then it's probably a good time to change it. Because usually manufacturers know when they're because typically parts fail just outside of the warranty period. And we all know this, and it just seems to always happen that way. So if Corsair said, hey, this AIO is about, we do have a 5-year warranty on it, just to let you know. So if it does, then after those 5 years, then it's more than likely a good idea to change out the AIO then, because you want to just make sure. So Chris, what are your thoughts about the Max Pro or whatever its name? I believe it's like 35K. Oh, for Apple. So the Max Pro, it's been a great phone, I gotta say. You're talking about the 17 Pro Max. I'm assuming the 17 Pro Max has been a great phone. The only beef I have with it is just the exterior of it. The exterior of the phone's it's of course aluminum, not the best exterior, but I can say it definitely is a lot more cooler. So it's great for anybody out there who wants to be able to stream on the go. If you plan to use it for something like that, or use it heavy for photo and video, um, it's good for those type of items. It's also good that it can actually pick up signal a bit better because it doesn't have the titanium frame outside of it to block the signal. So the aluminum casing certainly does help it, like when it comes to signal as well. So it's an excellent phone. Battery life has been excellent. I rarely ever get it like to the point where I need to charge the phone as much. So I'd say it's a great phone. But it's not going to be like a significant leap if you're going from, like, say, an iPhone 15. Well, I would say heat dissipation, yes, significant leap. But when it comes to like the feel of it, it would feel pretty much the same. Oh no, the PC scratch phones. The Apple, yeah, I kind of figured that. The Apple yeah. So that's my thoughts of it, I gotta say. Thank you, Ernesto. Thank you for becoming a member of the channel. Welcome. I'm glad that we're starting to grow already. I think we already got 5 members. This is awesome. Thank you, Ernesto, for joining. I do appreciate it. And feel free to also ask any questions that you would like, and I will pose it onto the week. Also, make sure you stick around and check out the members post and everything as well, as I certainly will post up there. So, also, when it comes to, there is more news about Windows, which I definitely have to share with you. I spoke briefly to it about Takuma, which I'm sure he probably found interesting because he was looking for this feature too. And that the new Windows 11 feature is that it's going to be intertwined with AI. So it's going to unfortunately be intertwined with Copilot. I know, right? It's like, who wants Copilot again? But this time it's going to be a bit more invasive, so to say, that the Copilot tab isn't going to be there. It's going to be more into your search terms. So your search bar when you go into Windows 11 down to the bottom, it's going to practically turn into a AI for Microsoft. So you could actually look up your files, like say that you want to look up a video for your dog. Just say you type in the dog, and then your local files of should come up practically. Excuse me. Gotta get a sip of water here. Yeah, so your local files should pretty much come up if you're looking, say, for your dog, or it should show you dog photos, or it should pretty much look up within your system instead of searching out to your internet. So do you cover PC console content? Very interesting. Yes, I cover like all PC content. So you're more interested into something like this, is it? More into like the Xbox Ally X, I should say. Because if you're curious, feel free to ask questions about it. Currently, we did get our benchmark with it, which is at 9201. You can currently play Battlefield 6 up to 120 frames if you so choose to. Playing specifically at 720, you can play at 1080, but if you play at 1080, it's going to be a bit more limited. You'll get like about half of 120, to be honest. So, but if you get 720, it's not going to look that much of a difference, especially on such a small scale screen such as this. You certainly can easily get 120. So, I've already created my Apple ID. Awesome. That's awesome that you did. And do you cover? That's weird. I wonder why it went backwards. I noticed sometimes the chat will end up switching up. But so Windows 11 is going to update in that sense. That they're going to update in that way. So they're still upgrading. And I was hoping from seeing that box that I showed everybody just earlier, that there's an indication on Windows 12 that should be coming out sometime soon. Then we should certainly expect it. Do you guys hear that? Sounds like they're cutting the grass again. It's that time for them. I swear that's like every hour of the time it seems like just to be just on cue to cut the grass. They're almost like guests to this show at this point. So also so far on Steam. So how about this? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back into Steam real quick, and from here we're gonna go back, because right now I'm in big picture mode. So we're gonna go into Cyberpunk and run a quick test for everybody out there who's curious about it. So we'll go over to Cyberpunk right here, and then we're gonna run a test to see what type of numbers we could pull. So we're gonna bench it. And I'm really curious because, I mean, the original Xbox Ally played it very well. So I'm curious about with the settings to see how well this will play. And the thing is too, I'm more curious also with FSR 4, because if everybody's familiar with the original Ally, or if you're familiar with the older AMD cards, or even now, like if you have an AMD card and you play anything with FSR 3, and it doesn't seem to be quite clear. It gets kind of pixelated, it gets a bit blurry, and it gives it kind of a nasty look. It takes away from the gameplay. It doesn't feel as accurate. But FSR 4 is certainly a large improvement over that, and I would love to see it inside of something like the Xbox Ally X to see how well it performs. So let's go in, and okay, so it should be loading up here. So I mean, the style of OS, it still remain 12, but with the style of your choice. I would love that. I hate that they're trying to force AI on us and taking away options to turn. You know what's crazy? I feel like certain things you feel like it doesn't make sense to have AI on. I get that they're trying to make it a bit easier, right? They're trying to show it off to be this like big awesome tool, especially when you're looking for your local files, right? So it's dope that you can actually look up a dog and find a video file of it. But why isn't there already a feature, like for example, if you name the dog, like the video file, just say Jonah, right? My dog. So I'll just say you called it Jonah running, right? And why don't they already have the feature where you just type it in into the Windows bar and it'll come up? Because as we all know, for some reason, Windows likes to take you to the internet when you are searching on the Windows bar. I'll say, we'll take you to Edge to find what you're looking for, which you already have the file on your PC as it is. So, can you Google dbrand kill switch case for the Xbox ROG Ally X and tell me how it looks? Certainly. We'll take a look at it. Oh, wasabi. Oh, no. You got pressured to do it. Welcome, Wasabi. That's quite the surprise. Oh, that's hilarious. Well, welcome to the club. Let's see. That's funny. So I opened up Cyberpunk. It's probably because I'm not focusing too much on this. I think I messed that up real quick. So I'll get back to this device real quick. Let's go look up this DRAM. I'm trying to open it up and it seems like it's being a little bit wonky right now. Oh man. Wasabi's hilarious. Yeah, sure. I'll give you my full opinion on it. dbrand. In fact, can you send me the case? I just want to make sure I pick the right case. Are you on our Discord? If you're on our Discord, feel free to send it, and I will certainly answer it. Ally X Xbox. No. I had last week. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you what I had last week. I honestly kind of lose count when it comes to subscriber counts. But I've noticed that I've been growing a bit quicker, which I'm certainly happy about. I'm glad people are joining in and seeing the channel and agreeing. Excuse me, that was just the Xbox Ally just popping up. I'm just clicking allow. The most annoying thing, I don't know again why Windows does that. If you have it on game, especially on a gaming device, why do you have pop-ups such as, do you want to allow Cyberpunk 2077 to connect to the internet? Yes, that's what I paid you for. I do want it to connect to the internet. Of course I want it to connect to the internet. So, let me take a look here. No, just last week, I think I was at... Maybe I was at 93, I think. I couldn't tell you. I'd probably go insane if I just like stare at my subscribers, to be honest. Okay, so I'm on Dbrand's website. Okay, is it this one here? That's pretty dope, actually. If they, I'm assuming that's a skin. What that originally is. So let me see. Switch over to the browser here, guys. And for some reason, I apologize for the guys down there. Let's see, browser. Let's see. There we go. Beautiful. So is this the case? Just to make sure before I start looking over at the case. It's funny too, because like right now I'm getting this blank screen currently as I opened it up. Again, nothing's ever perfect when it comes to any device. Let me let you know that. And let me go back here. Okay, there we go. It just wasn't open. For some reason, Windows is being Windows. It decided to open up the other application instead. So we're in Cyberpunk now. So we're gonna run a test on it to see how it runs. Okay, so that is it. Okay, so all right. Before I give you my thoughts, let me just hurry up and get through this side. Oh, I know why. Let me turn this on. So right now I'm just trying to get into the benches, in the benchmark right now. You must scroll on. Yeah, I kind of figured that. One of the annoying things is, like, when you have to scroll through, I'm just trying to scroll down to the agreement, that not everything is touch. So it's like, so when you do it, you gotta kind of try to figure it out. So it won't let me accept it until I scroll all the way down. And then it goes to sleep on me. That's so funny. All right, you know what? I'll get back to it. Let me look at the case. Okay. Yes. A key part. Okay. It sounds like it's getting serious, because you know I gotta take the members serious. If they say they want to, they want a project anime, or should we call it? Should we continue calling it Project Weeb? If we do this project, we're gonna have to add this now. It's going to be the Red Dragon M916 AK. Let's see. Let me throw that down there. Perfect. I will make sure we look that up. Yes, exactly. Project Weeb. What do you think of the Gigabyte X8070E Ors? Okay, sure. Yeah, I'll answer that just shortly, LSG. Let me just answer. I know Hypnotic. I apologize. Let me review this case for you. Now, I love cases like this. This is very similar to like how it is with one of the brands I personally like is JS Aux. They make great ones. Yes, I like cases like this. This is like when it has the kickstands, where it gives you a little bit of gripability. And let's see. This is an excellent case, I can say, for certain. I do prefer cases like this. You made a great choice. And how much is it? $80. And this is the travel edition. It's worth getting cases like this, because the thing about the cases is the fact that when it's like this, it's much more easier to travel. Because that's why I got this case, because I don't want to throw it into some really big bulky case to bring with me if I'm on the airport. I just want to put it in my book bag. So to get a case like this, definitely a great choice, I would say. But $80 is, I feel like, pretty high, pretty expensive actually for that case, because I think JSAUX, I wonder if they came out with a version, but that's actually, but then again, it's a great case nevertheless. So let me see. Okay, so answer LSG's question real quick. What do I think of? Let me shrink this down. I don't know why it's doing that on the mobile side. Let me shrink that down a bit. Hopefully you guys can see that. If you guys can't see it on the mobile side, let me know. If it feels too small, I apologize. So, what I think of the X870E Wars Master, 100% worth it. I paid the Elite version, but they don't have it in stock, so they offered to upgrade. I would just say, yeah, go for it. Get the Master. It has much more significant features than the Elite. Definitely go for it. You won't be disappointed. And plus, it gives you small bonuses in there. Like, it has like even a RAM cooling kit, which is pretty dope. There's a lot of nice features when you get the Master. You also have better compatibility when it comes to PCI Express 5. Get it. $35 more? Do it. So when it comes to the 1125H2 update, I don't see big changes. Yeah, it's not going to be much of a change. Let me see. Let me try typing in something. Nope. Doesn't exist. I just try to type in dog just to see if anything comes up. Pretty much the same. I like the case. It has covers to protect the joysticks. You can't see. Vibrating triggers were so awesome when they came out, especially in racing. It does have the haptic feedback, if anyone is curious about that. So it certainly has haptic feedback if you're looking for something like that in the ASUS ROG Ally. Certainly check that out. Make sure you take advantage of something like that. It also does have the dead zone spots and everything. It's very customizable now. I'm glad that the original ROG Ally came out, because now it gives them a chance to perfect the product. And even though they said that they're not coming out with the ROG Ally 2, and that Xbox Ally is like their Ally 2, I don't know if they're really telling the truth on that. I feel like there's got to be an Ally 2 that's going to eventually release. If it does, that should be quite the beast. And the thing is, I would think it would probably outshine the Xbox Ally if that's the case, but we'll see in time. It has the covers. Oh, really? Let me see. Covers. Let me see. Or maybe it wasn't the selection that I picked. This one, for some reason, doesn't have the... Oh, right here. Here it is. Now I see it. Stream. Let me go into the browser real quick. There it is. Yeah, the covers for the joystick certainly help it a bit. Because when you are gripping on those thumbsticks, it can be very easy to slip off. Especially when you're playing first-person shooters. But yeah, I do like that. You think that they sell 8TB SSD? They certainly... I have to take it apart to really find out. Like, I gotta take this thing apart to really know, like, how the NVMe is in there. Like how it was for the original ROG Ally. The original ROG Ally, you can put up to 8TB if you want. 2230, I think the max is 4TB. 2280, of course, you can put 8TB. But I wonder if they give you the flexibility to put a 2280 in there. So we'll find out. I just gotta take it apart to find out. I started doing overtime on Sundays at work in the name of gigabytes. Oh man, you are. I gotta give it to you, Wasabi. You're putting the hard work in, and I gotta give it to you. Oh my, I hope that's worth it. There goes, yeah, you know, there he is. Here he is, the guest featured, the guy that cuts the grass. We gotta get him on the show, right? Gotta get them on there. The cover covers everything. Yeah, you know, I'm just curious to see what Windows 12 will actually feature, because we all want Windows 12 to actually have like a be actually a light OS. I was hoping when I got this Xbox, when we got this Xbox Ally X that came in, we were all hoping to see that it had kind of like indications of like Windows 12, like what it could be, especially if it was a gaming aspect. But you know what it's practically like? It's more like an Xbox overlay, and the Xbox overlay is on top of Windows, kind of like the Steam Big Picture mode. It's kind of like that, and Windows 11 is kind of sits in the background, which was not what we all wanted. We were hoping it was really truly a customized OS. No game. Man, I am moving in my new place, and yes, please do. Would love it. I would love to see the builds that you would go through, because I mean, you definitely got some sentence. What's up, Siren? I'm very new to PCs. I used my bros for 13 years. I'm from the UK, and I want to upgrade my entire new one for Black Ops 7, Valorant, and work. Where do I start? No. Yeah, of course. You're welcome to ask. That's a great question. And a great place to start, especially if you want to do all of everything that you have mentioned. Best place to start is you want to look at your graphics card. That's going to be your number one component. Once you get your GPU, that's going to kind of give you an idea of how your PC build will go. Now, will you be gaming in 1440p or 4K? Are you looking to get 4K? That's the main question I have to ask, because when it comes to, let me see. When it comes to, if you're going to be using it for work, what type of work specifically? Is it going to be like kind of like a video editing, or is it going to be more or so like more like tedious tasks like Excel? Because that would be obviously a lot different too. In 2 weeks, I also get the new M-Terabyte that I ordered yesterday. Chris, I've sent the pics. Oh, sure, Xenomorph. That's what I see in the YouTube chat. Certainly. Sure. Let me see. Let me open up Discord here. And oh, really? So that's what you see in the YouTube chat. Really? Huh. So you're getting the try, you know what? You have to click the other video. There's going to be 2 different streams, just to let you know, Wasabi. I mean, you know why? Oh, you know why? Because they're in the other one. You have to go into the other. Okay, so you probably went to the verticals. I also had the horizontal lives. They're in the horizontal live, so you're more than welcome to join the horizontal live if that's the case. So I appreciate it. So many people have opinions. They're very strong on them stuff. So I'll be getting the best for whatever is more important. Remote jobs, calls, Excel, emails. Okay. So if that's the case, get the RX 9070 XT. That's where you can start. So, so I gotta say, Farah SYN, feel free to join Discord if you would like, and I can certainly give you like a whole list to start from. But I could tell you off the bat on the stream if you'd like. And on the stream, I can say you can go RX 9070 XT. Specifically, one I highly recommend is either the Sapphire Nitro Plus, or you can go for the even the ASRock Taichi. I smirk a little bit when I say this because I think of the motherboards in my background. I know it's very sinister of me thinking this because it's almost like a meme at this point. Anyway, get the ASRock Taichi 9070 XT. Seriously, get that GPU. That's a good one. Or you can even get XFX, which was brought up quite a beast of a 9070 XT, the Swift. Also, Power Color has a decent one, which is also a 9070 XT variant. The one I hear that hasn't been performing as well is Gigabytes, unfortunately, the Gaming Overclock Edition. Also, when it comes to the motherboard, I'm assuming you want to go AM5. Since you're doing tasks such as Excel, you want to do remote, you can go something, it doesn't really require something very extreme. If you're more, and since you want to get the best for your money, I would say go for like the 9800 X3D. I think that would be a great choice for you, especially for gaming. You don't have to spend a ton of money. You don't have to go 9950X, 9950X3D. Go 9800 X3D. That will certainly fulfill the task that you need. And from that processor, you'll know what kind of board you need, which is AM5. Now, you want to get a very decent board for it. You want to get at least an X870 or X870E. Those are the type of motherboards you can go for. I highly recommend all three, which is ASUS, MSI, Gigabyte. Don't get ASRock. Reason being, it's been having issues. So don't go ASRock when it comes to motherboards. When it comes to DDR5, you want to get at least 6000 megahertz. I know I'm probably throwing a bunch of information at you. I apologize about that. But again, I'll get you a whole list on Discord once you join. And 6000 megahertz on DDR5. And at the minimum, or you could go up to 6400 megahertz. And then from pretty much there, I'll give you the rest of the list, because I know I can go on and describe everything in detail, and that will more than likely it will get a bit tedious probably. So the question is AMD or NVIDIA. Great question, Frozen. Now the thing with AMD and NVIDIA, it just depends on the task that you do. Oh, thank you for sharing the Discord. So I do have to say, when it comes to the whole task, when it comes to the whole side, I'm glad you figured that out. Like, you already know the Discord. So the question is, when it comes to AMD or NVIDIA. When it comes to AMD or NVIDIA types, it depends on the task. If you like to video edit it, stream, I highly recommend NVIDIA. If you prefer to just game and just do productivity, such as like Excel or like those type of tasks, then I would say AMD would certainly fulfill those type of needs. Now, I still can't decide whether the 9070 XT or the 5070 Ti. I know those are tough choices. Now, again, it just depends on what you want to use it for. NVIDIA is great. I remember, Blue, that you said that you'd like 3D modeling. NVIDIA is definitely better on that side. And again, don't put too much pressure on yourself. You can always start with a 9070 XT, especially if you're on a tighter budget, because the next 2 years you can always upgrade your card. Just sell your XT, your 9070 XT, and then you can always upgrade. That's the best part about having a PC. You don't have to have it just one card. You can swap it out in the near future. Thank you. I've joined now, and I will be back in a few minutes for the list. Awesome. I do appreciate it. I still can't decide whether the 90s... No, it's okay. Maybe the 5070 Ti. The 5070 Ti is like a very solid choice. I like Tacoma to bring that up, because if you don't really like to switch out components as often, 5070 Ti is certainly one that you can certainly go with if you're willing to spend the budget. It's very important that you have the right components for your PC build. Just make sure that you have the right motherboard. And I know we spoke about it on multiple occasions. And in fact, I feel bad because I remember I'm supposed to get back to you with another list. And yeah, just feel free to post your budget, and we can definitely take a look into it. All of us guys, all the members will certainly help you out. And any type of deals that we find, make sure to check out the PC hardware spot. And I'm glad we got more members joining into our Discord. That is awesome. I hear them coming in. Okay, before and after. Here goes Marco. He put his video up. Let's see. Well, then I'd rather go RX 9070 XT when you have only option. PNY. PNY. Oh, man. We all know how we feel about PNY currently with their 50 series cards. They're questionable. Them and their blown capacitors. Oh, man. Because that's just questionable. Okay, so Marco posted this up. This is his coil line. I apologize, Marco. I know it took a while to see this. But let me go into the Discord real quick, guys. And let me take off that question here. And so, thank you for following Fasiren. So, this is the coil line. Let me just minimize this a bit. Right there. Apologize, guys. So, what's the comment on the top left? That was from earlier. So, this is the coil line. Hopefully, you guys, if you guys can hear it, let me know. Welcome, Will. Welcome back. Oh, chat. Tell them how you feel about ASRock. So this is the coil whine he's experiencing. Let me see. Do you guys hear it? Let me see. I'm trying to hear it. I feel like that's more of a fan, right? I hear a little bit. It's not significant. What is the comment on the top left? The color scheme. the color scheme is quite questionable. Oh man. Can't hear nothing. Okay. Let me double check. I know what it is. Here you go, guys. I apologize. Okay. You guys should hear it now. All right. I'll play it again. What's up, Rabel? I'm doing great. Yeah. Do you guys hear any coil whine for this? I'll play it one more time. Okay. Nothing super noticeable. Okay. You can hear it. Frozen could hear it. Better than the old Western Digital. Absolutely. Much better than that. Certainly better than that. Huh? That, you know what? I just realized that. That is so strange. Wonder why that isn't working correctly. Let me just do that and activate source once again. After the window's open, sign in if required. And okay. I can hear nothing a bit, but nothing to be worried. I agree. I don't think it's something significant enough to certainly worry about, because it seems like it's very minimal, I have to say, like when it comes to it. It's very minimal when it comes to any type of noise. So if anybody has any issues when it comes to that type of coil whine, don't worry about it. That's minimal. Bad coil whine, you will certainly hear it. It sounds more like this loud whining noise. It's very annoying. It's more louder. It can get more loud than fans actually kicking on, which is pretty wild. Let me just get back into the, open this up, back up. There we go. Start up fresh. So, Rabel, feel free to ask, can you tell me the best PC game ever you loved most to play and enjoy and want to play more? Certainly, I can say the best PC game that I certainly love is, let me see, that's a great question. Because there's a whole lot of them, especially like when it comes to modding. I personally love, I do love Skyrim. Skyrim's a great game that I certainly can get back into. GTA 5, I had a lot of fun playing that, especially with different modifications. It's a whole different experience when you play it in PC. Such as games as, I do miss, like, and I gotta say, like, if I could get back into it, like, just the whole Counter-Strike feel. It just feels so different now, like, when you play games such as, like, man, but right now I am hooked on Battlefield 6, I gotta say. Like, I want to play more of it, but I know I got a job to do first, and I gotta make sure to be able to do more testing than anything first before we can start really playing. But I gotta say, but currently I've been enjoying a lot of Battlefield 6. So, Blue and Lily, if you can find that 3 was used for Bitmine coining and only play Tomb Raider. Yeah, if you're playing Tomb Raider Shadows, it's not going to be super demanding. It's a great game, I gotta say, though. It's certainly one of the best. What about Quadruple? No. That is hilarious. I can see why they laugh at something like that. That is funny. Like, you want to go to do a 4 1080 Ti. Oh man, that's not going to do much, to be honest. That's great if you want to maybe start doing like local, like you want to start working on like Llama or something like LLMs and stuff. You want to do AI, but I wouldn't suggest it like for gaming purposes, or like even just like Wasabi says, unless you want to go like if you want to work on mining, like Bitcoin mining, Genomorph, just like what Genomorph said. Uh, bro, you said what? Uh, like 2000. That's what I said. Counter Strike. Counter Strike. Counter Strike is certainly one of the best games that I feel that is when it comes to the childhood era. Counter Strike, Half Life, all the Valve games, I gotta say, were certainly the best. I said I have a lot of nice games that I can pick up, but the best game in my heart is the Euro Truck Simulator 2. Oh yeah, it's funny too because I know guys that play a lot of those like truck simulator games, and one of the guys he actually has like he wants the whole setup like the truck setup, like actually have like the whole like the steering wheel with the shifter with the low and high gear, which is pretty wild. But the crazy part is that I'd say gaming has really evolved quite a bit, especially when it comes onto the PC aspect. But at the same time, I hope it certainly does get better on the developer side, especially because now you're certainly going to have people want to switch over to PC that is coming, say, from the whole Microsoft side, like from the Xbox side. So I have a lot of nice games that I can pick up, but the best game in, yeah, I can agree. It was the same until I became a real life truck driver. You know what's funny? That always just ruins the experience when you actually do something in real life. Because when you think about it, like when you're a kid, you think like doing things like playing with like heavy like machines or playing with equipment like trucks or it's a lot of fun. And it's almost like you get like kind of taught to do it like as a kid, and as you get older, when you do it in real life, you're like, man, this is nowhere as fun as it seems. So Takuma, are you gonna play the U.S. version of Truck Simulator? Yeah, you know I gotta give it a shot. Meanwhile, girls who buy $3,000 pre-builds are only boot up Sims. You know what's funny? It seems like a lot of females that I know that really do like to play Sims. Ironically, that is that is pretty funny. You know, I played Prince of Persia. I especially played Persia Warrior with its insane and best story mode. I still love it to this day. That's awesome. Sorry, officer. How about doing a live stream dedicated to gaming on Linux? I'm talking to more and more people, and they're getting tired of dealing with the heavy hardness and intrusion of Windows, especially. Oh, you know what that reminded? Speaking of intrusion, sorry, officer. I'm glad that you brought this up because it does bring this into attention here. Like, now when it comes to Windows 11, you know what's funny is that did you know the person who helped design Windows 11? This may surprise everyone. Did you know the person who designed Windows 11 has never used Windows in their life? In fact, the person who designed Windows 11 was more of a person that was just more of a Mac OS user. So they just used Mac OS. And I guess they hired this designer and they said, and I guess they wanted to get a different aspect or a different outlook for Windows 11. So they brought her in, and while they designed Windows 11, she wanted to make it kind of like a Mac type of feel. So that's why Windows 11 feels so awkward and weird because it's nowhere near intuitive as the prior versions of Windows. So that's why it's kind of technically one of the Windows where it doesn't really feel that great. So what about 10RX 50s? Let me see. Let me check my messages. Right here, friend request. There we go. Awesome. Now I see you. There we go. Okay, So what about it can not Xenomorph, or do you mean buying at $3,000 to spend $5,000 on Gacha and Genshin Impact? There you go, Gacha Impact. So when it comes to the whole side, when it comes to the whole rebuild, let's look up this keyboard. Now Xenomorph actually brought this up here, so we're gonna look this up as part of the build. Yeah, I can't wait to spend $3,500 on my 5080 to play Team Fortress 2 and Golden Frying Pan in another. Or you know what's best? Even remember Farming Simulator? Remember, like you know, Facebook is actually getting rid of like a lot of their games now. So they're deciding to step off of it. So for you fans out there of Project Weeb, for you fans out there of Project Weeb here, we're gonna go right here. Take a look at that. What do you what do you guys think? Is that an approval? I found that RTX, that's actually not a bad price. If you can find a 4090 for $1,150, that's actually a really good deal. And it has 24 gigabytes. It's an underrated card, and it still works great till this day. So there you go. For anybody who's thinking of, you're looking for one of the best mice. It's ergonomical, it's natural, and it fits Project Weave. 100. Oh no, I think that's just for units, because I'm on the business side of Prime, so it's saying I can buy 5 units for $171. You know what? You know what? If I ever open up like a larger company, right? And I have desk, I should put these I should put this mouse, just buy the 5 units and set them all up in the office. Like on the PCs. Could you imagine that? they would be like, what they wouldn't know what they're walking into. Host a giveaway with the, I know, right? With this mouse. Yesterday, while I was at work, I decided to scroll on Amazon. I looked back at my future X870E, and I noticed it has I know. It's funny because a lot of those motherboards do. They all have that like extra HDMI port that never is going to be used. I feel it's pointless. Just get rid of it. Nobody's going to want it. No enthusiast will. I know. Yeah, there is a keyboard matching. They want you to get the keyboard. I'm curious if we can find it. Oh, it must be this one. It's got to be this one. Yeah, it's definitely this. It's definitely this. Look at the back of the board. I would take it as my mouse is 80 grams. Since when does this emoji exist? I know, it's funny, right? Look, it has 3 Montech. So you can have this, they give you an example of the perfect background. It's kind of weird that they put a MacBook next to it, but I guess. Also, anyone else enter AMD's 99? That's a great question, LSG. Post up the link for everyone. Definitely send it out there. Get people to join it, because if that 9950 X3D is top tier. That dude that I bought the ASUS ROG. Oh, really? Are you serious? Wow, he hasn't. The fact that they have a weeb background. Man, I would get on them, Wasabi. I'd be like, what's going on? Like, where's my stuff? Where's my router? But they have up to 2 days to ship it, I believe, right? They have a grace period, I think, of 2 to 3 days to ship it. But you ordered it, I feel like early in the week, right? It was on I felt like on a Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, your router broke. That sucks. That really sucks. Uh, so you can adjust the brightness or maybe the sound effects. Okay. So there you go. You can get this Red Dragon build, right? And this will go really well with some of the cases that we were looking at. Some of the cases that we were looking at that would fit this Project Weave, right? So we definitely got to get a Yeston or Yeaston. It would be Yeston, I would think. Yeston RTX 5080 with a motherboard that we certainly have found. And I think we're pretty much set. But it's a shame that they don't have a CPU where it has any type of weebish tendencies. It'd be funny to put like a kind of like a sticker on there, but I think that's it'll end up melting. It'd be a terrible idea to put a sticker on there. But he texted me though. It wasn't his fault. He was waiting for the shipping to come in at his place and collecting it for shipping. Well, I had a $30 router anyway. So yeah, like if anybody's planning to get a router, definitely go. If you have Wi-Fi 6, you can go Wi-Fi 6, 6E, 7. Those are the ones to certainly go for. Now, when it comes to desktop gaming, I always recommend using Ethernet if you can. You want to go, depending on how fast internet you have, you want to go Cat 6 or higher. Because usually that's the speeds over at least 1 gigabit or more. When you go all the way up to Cat 8, then it's going to go up to like 40 gigabits, which is insane, which we're probably not going to see for quite some time. But at least currently here, we only have up to 1 gigabit, unfortunately. How fast is the internet around for you guys, out of curiosity, everybody in the European regions? So I use Ethernet. Will you place that setup in the background? That's a great question. You know what? They're going to inspire us to do it. Maybe we're going to have to do that. We're going to have to go like full keyboard, full mouse, full. It's going to be quite crazy, this setup, I gotta say. 400 meg. Okay, so you got 400 megabits. Intel Core. That sounds about right. I like that, Takuma. You're giving Intel ideas. If you send that idea, can you imagine you send that idea to Intel and they actually took it with seriousness and that they actually tried to engineer something? So they tried to engineer something like that. That would be hilarious. And it's around Wi-Fi is around 400 megabit. Okay, so okay, that's not too bad. That's honestly pretty good. I feel like anything that's over 300 is actually excellent. Like when it comes to internet speeds, that usually fulfills mostly everybody's. And now I do have to ask: is the upload speeds around the same? Is the upload speeds around the same, like for you guys typically? For us, in this specific area, it's not really great. First, Intel has got to make the Intel Pentium Ultra. Yeah, honestly, they do. They really do. It'd be awesome if they did. Ethernet is also 400 megabits more. But the PS5 Ethernet port sucks. I could see that. And the thing is, it's like, because it's outdated, technically. It's been, the PS5 released in 2020, so technically its speed isn't going to be that quick. But for sure that there's going to be a PlayStation 6. Because AMD and Sony has striked up a deal. So anybody with Sony and PlayStation who is looking for that PlayStation 6 for release, they will certainly release one. And the thing is, watch GTA 6 get delayed. And then they end up releasing it on PlayStation 6. That would just be terrible. By the time they release GTA 6, we're gonna be all elders here. We are upgrading to 1 gigabit next year. Awesome. That's going to be quite the speed difference. So to check your internet speed, just type in like speed test on Google. And usually they'll have their own speed test, or you can go to Okla's speed test, which is pretty nice. So I'll show you so you would just type it into Google, type in speed test, and it should just come right up. In that new place, I am moving the internet provider page. It says that I'm supposed to have 2.2 gigabits. Oh, that's awesome. If that's the case, that would be insanely quick. I would love that. Man, that's amazing. You're gonna love streaming on that type of speed. You're gonna have zero issues, I gotta say. And let me see here. Right here, I'm now in Discord chat, bro. Where should I? Oh, yeah, sure. I'll tag you real quick, and you can feel free to ask the question. Let me see. Let's go into, and I'll tag you. And I'm assuming this is, for some reason it's weird. It shows it as 3 dots. In fact, I just saw you. Let me go to the general side here. Oh, that's why. No wonder why I got confused, because you're like F and 3 dots. I kept typing it in, and I'm like, where'd you go? Okay, so okay, right here. And you can ask the question here. Well, my internet is 11 milliseconds ping a year. Downloads is 217 megabits. So that's not bad. That's actually pretty quick. There you go. Perfect. Yeah, so you can feel free to ask the question there. I'll certainly help build your list, if anything. And we could all do it together. All the members. I can switch this over to members once we hit like the 10 o'clock period over. And then we'll certainly ask all the questions. So when it comes to PC building, the main key for anybody out there who does want to get into it, you want to get the graphics card. More importantly, you want to make sure to, especially for those who are focused on the gaming or video editing, even graphic modeling aspect, GPU is very important. So that's the first piece to look for, more than anything. And then from there, you can kind of get a good idea of like how to build your PC around that. Then you'll know what kind of CPU you'll need depending on the type of task. So the GPU is going to be the integral part mostly. So it's best to pick the GPU first, and then you'll get a good indication of how your PC should come out, because that'll even determine your power supply right off the bat too. So that's quick. I thought that's C minus. That it's Oh, nice. Now Siren got great internet. You have to have fiber. You have to have fiber optics. That's definitely fiber optics right there. Farrison. I think it's Verizon, right? I keep saying the name wrong, I feel like. I keep saying all different types. Vantex NV7. Does the speed depend on the internet provider, or it's more the provider than the actual router? Now the Farrison. Okay. I apologize. Farrison. Now I got you. So does the speed depend on the internet provider or the router? So again, internet provider certainly does matter most. Router second, it could bottleneck it, but it just depends on your speed, really, like what the internet provider is supposed to give you. So for example, if they're supposed to give you 2 gigabits of speed, and you go and do a test directly through the without the router, you go directly through Say if you're using modem directly through the modem, if it's fiber optics, you're going to go through a router and connect directly to your PC. You shouldn't have 2 gigabits. Now, if you don't, you can actually call up the internet provider and say, hey, I'm not getting 2 gigabits like promised. They'll actually crank the speed up. They have that type of ability where they can certainly crank up the speed, and you shouldn't have any issues. So I still haven't sorted it where to put my desk and PC. I would like everything to the 3rd floor and attic. However, the roof is slanted and there is also a wooden beam. Oh, really? I have a TP-Link router 1 room away. See, and it depends on the router too. Like, depends on the speeds on it, because the router could be like, for example, if the router is limited to say Wi-Fi 5, like if it's an older router, then you're not going to really experience as many high speeds because they're going to have a cap. And if you go and get like Wi-Fi 6, there's going to also be a cap for Wi-Fi 6. So every router will have its limits, but once you go Wi-Fi 6, then your capabilities expand much more further, because they can actually go up as high as 2.5 gigabits. Some can even go as high as 5 gigabits. So it's just so the router can matter, but you just want to make sure that the router that you currently do have, whether if it's, say, the internet provider provided you, it should reach those speeds. If it's one that you are planning to buy, make sure it can reach the speeds that you are looking for. So, what's your favorite PC case? And sorry if I answer if I pause the stream a bit. Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem. I can answer real quick. Personally, to me, one of my favorite PC cases has to be Cooler Master cases, like the back then Cooler Master cases. Especially when it came to the half tower cases, when they used to build them, the full tower cases, because you would have so much room to work on them. And I certainly miss the full tower cases because everything turned into mid tower cases now. But there's certainly one of my favorites to work on. Them, and I do like Corsair cases a lot. Corsair cases give a lot of flexibility and ease when you are building PCs. So Corsair cases are definitely on the top list when it comes to PC building. So Xenomorph. So will it matter if I'm planning to buy 20 meters Ethernet cable or just go wired? Just depends on your provider, the modem, and the router. Also, when you have the internet test on your phone faster than your PC. Yes, exactly. So, like for example, if I'm testing it on my phone, it has Wi-Fi 7 capabilities, so I know it's going to have a much larger value when it comes to speed. Now, if it's going to be like something like if you have an older device, like an older phone, it might have only Wi-Fi 6, you might get slower speeds compared to a phone that has Wi-Fi 7 because it has a higher capability. Wi-Fi 7 is a little bit different. It's instead of just having just one band compared to Wi-Fi 6, where it would split the bands like a tri-band router, just like the ASUS router. What Wi-Fi 7 would do is combine all the bands together, and then you can actually take advantage of quicker speeds in that sense. So instead of 160 megabits you would get 320 megabits like combined, so to say, like when it comes to signal strength and connection. But other than that, I can say you want to just make sure you get a decent router that fits your internet provider. First of all, that's like the most important part. But if you go wired, then wired is certainly the best way to go compared to say Wi-Fi. But if you have to go Wi-Fi, go anything over Wi-Fi 6. So I meant a specific case aesthetically, but my phone is Wi-Fi 7 and the router is Wi-Fi 5. Yes, if that's the case, that can happen. That's a very common task. So trying to build a PC so to answer Wi-Fi simple tasks such as install email and then, And I'm from so what I'll do for you, Farrison, is that I'm going to, off of everything you told me, I'm going to try to locate everything UK-wise, so that way I can find you every specific component. That way, I'll do everything practically through Amazon, and I'll have it linked to other sites too as well that's related to the UK, if anything. And we'll get a list together uh, on as soon as after the live and everything. Also, I still got this sitting, by the way, and I still haven't started up Cyberpunk, which if anyone is curious about the Xbox Ally X, let's start it up because I still got to get through that whole agreement side because I left that lack in here. Let me see. Oh, it ended up closing on me because I wasn't on it for so long. Okay, let's see. Try to. Fun times, right? You gotta love Windows 11 at times. Was Windows? All right, now let's try. There we go. Now we're launching it again, and hopefully we can get these benchmarks. If there's anything I can do to help you, let me know, as I'm excited. I'm excited for you, I gotta say, especially, because anybody that's just getting back into PCs, especially that the last time you were really in it was 13 years ago, that's going to be quite an exciting feeling. And I do gotta say, you're going to notice quite the improvement. We get it. There we go. You're certainly going to notice like quite the improvement, especially like I would imagine you're probably definitely going to outspec your brother's build. So, oh, you must upgrade the router when you have only Wi-Fi 5. You limit your Wi-Fi speeds for all your other devices, and yes, that of course it limits. It's funny too because like. You can have a Wi-Fi 7 device. It'll take advantage of the max speed that you have. But just like watch. See the difference if you have a difference in speed when it comes to your router and the difference in speed when it comes to your phone, because more than likely you have your phone Wi-Fi and you have your PC hooked up via Ethernet. I was a Mac guy. I built my first PC and it was a 5080 and a 9950 X3D. A lot of overtime. Congratulations. Awesome for you guys. Much love to everybody out there who's built their first PCs. And I got to ask you, it's definitely one of the best feelings in the world, right? Once you get that PC built all together and you have so much you can see like how much capabilities of a PC that you have. It's like you ask yourself, why didn't I just do this in the first place? Beat not. So he has a 6900 XT and a 7600. Awesome. When all the fans turn on and everything is working. I know, doesn't it feel magnificent? Like you feel like you've accomplished something in life for once. Like building a PC just feels like that. You finally accomplished something. I'm probably going to go destroy it. Does it? I gotta ask you. Does your router belong to your ISP? If it does, just destroy it and just be like, hey, I need a new one. Just be like it got damaged. Say like tell them that a dog attacked it for some reason. I have a Wi-Fi 7 mesh system for ASUS. Oh, beautiful system. It is expensive, but just to have seamless internet everywhere you walk in your house is just very nice. It's a very nice feeling. It is a super nice feeling. So right now I'm just getting into, you know what's really annoying? I gotta get used to that from the old ASUS ROG Ally is that when you hit this top button, it pulls you back into the windows. So you gotta be careful of that. I need to disable that button, to be honest. And then now I'm going into the benchmark testing. If I can get to the scroller here, which is kind of annoying. So right now I'm just, oh, there you go. Okay, now we can benchmark it. So I apologize everybody out there who's been waiting on a benchmark on the ASUS ROG Ally X Box Edition. Now this is the X Xbox Edition. Oh, such a bad naming scheme. It's the worst. Okay, so we're gonna run the benchmark. It's on ray tracing low. I'll show you the settings. Fidelity 2.1, really. They really got to change that. They got to change that to, let me go up here. Why 2.1? They got to have 3 at least. And FSR 3, okay. Frame generation is off. Okay, so I'll show you the settings, what I got real quick. And then we're going to start looking up all the different components. Oh, this is annoying. It's funny because it has that scroller. Okay, so right now it's set to custom, but really I just changed the FSR over. Hopefully you guys can see that. We're going to get a bench out of Cyberpunk 2027 and see 2077, I mean, and see what type of numbers that we're going to end up pulling here. So we're going to run that test. This is going to be without the adapter hooked up. So I think it should be, right now it's on, oh, no wonder why. Let's turn it on turbo mode. There you go. That's going to make a difference. Yeah, Blue, feel free to ask. Wasabi found a great deal, honestly, for that 16,000. The AXE 1100 is great. That's the one I currently have right here, actually. It's a great router. So, okay. So, let me go ahead and start looking for this PC build real quick. Now, let's start off with this. RX 90. So, I'm going to start sending you links here. And let me know if you're able to... oh, damn. That's a great deal. That is an awesome deal. Okay, I'm going to share this one with you. So try this one, and let me know if it works out for you. If you get the UK version, let me know. Or you know what? I should look up. Let me know if that's going to. So Farrison, let me know if that allows you, if once you click that link, it goes over to the UK version. If it doesn't, let me know. And then I'm going to use something to switch it over to the UK version. So which is more demanding, Black Myth Wukong settings for 1080p or Cyber... Black Myth Wukong, certainly. Yeah, definitely Black Myth Wukong. And here, I'll switch over and show you what I got, what I see. It's actually an awesome deal. Really awesome deal. I'm going to share with you guys in the browser. This is what I just shared to Farrison. Take a look at that. Only $679. So, and that's actually a really good price, close to MSRP. Yeah, you know when it gets equal, when Cyberpunk gets really tough, it's going to be once you put it into like path tracing. That's when it gets tough. Okay, so right now it says with the current settings. Now currently it says that I have the AMD Radeon 890M graphics, 8,000 okay, 8 gigabytes of VRAM, and it also says system memory is about 24 megabytes. So it's on auto FSR 2.1. It still sets it on FSR. You know what it is? I probably had to reboot it to go into that. So let me go back to it. I'm gonna have to reboot it. Just give it a second. I gotta apply these settings. Thank you, Charmander, for subscribing. Much appreciated. XFX RX 9070 XT Swift Game. Yep. Okay, awesome. That's actually a good deal. That's actually a good deal. That's 553 pounds. So, okay, perfect. So you did, okay, awesome. So let me just apply these settings real quick. I'm going to run the benchmark again, because I want to get an accurate test here. Seems a little bit weird. Okay, so far that's what we got for Charmander is me on you. Oh, I gotcha. So the 9070 XT. Hey man, I'm a fan of Pokemon too, I gotta say. I mean, just to let you know, I love my Dragonite here. Right there. That's awesome, right? I got it from Pokemon Center. And I got Snorlax, which is sitting back there. I could also show you Snorlax. Let me see. So I'm going to help you out with the 9800X 3D. Yes. Let me show you this one. I'll even turn on the light for you guys. Here you go. You gotta like this one, right? Snorlax. Two ultra wides is so dope. Oh yeah, it is, right? I had to get it. I actually, believe it or not, it took me 2 trips to get both of them back here because our bags were so full that the first round when I tried to bring them back, it just didn't allow me to bring them in because my bags were overweight, so I had to pick them up the second time around, which kind of sucked. Oh really? $598? Really? So that's what I got. I looked that up here. So right now I'm just building a list. Let me see. And here goes a decent one. Let me go into it'll be easy for me to find it right here. 9800X3D. So I'm just gonna log in here real quick, guys, which just will take me a moment. It has like a database of like all the stuff I went through, and I have everything organized there through motherboards and everything. Why does no one use Brave as their? Because it sucks. That's why. Well, it doesn't really suck that bad, but it's definitely not the best. Personally, for me, I use Mozilla, which is Firefox. Firefox has been great. Personally, for me, I would love to just use, if I could, I would love to use something more like Brave, but it doesn't sync well with all my devices. Not as well as I would like it to. Here goes a good one. Let me see. I would say... Let me check the price on this. I miss Internet Explorer. You know, it's funny because I guess they got pissed because everyone would use Internet Explorer over Edge, and because of that, they were like, you know what? Let's we don't like this. This will be on sale, just to let you know, Harrison. It should be on sale because they came out with a different variant. So this motherboard is something I highly recommend. Everyone would certainly recommend this board too. Yeah, Firefox is amazing. Tor, if you want if you want to hide from the police, huh? That's funny. And let's see. Here goes another one. So right now, so far on the list, we got Gigabyte's X870E Ors Master. We had the 9800X3D, 9070 XT, XFX Swift. Same case with Windows 7. Dude, we got Windows 10 now. Yeah. You know, it's funny. It's like, you know what Microsoft is almost like? Microsoft is almost to the point where they're like, they say, well, you like that feature? Sorry, we're going to take it away from you. We don't care if you like it. You're going to like the new one now. They're kind of just like internet thugs. Let me see. And then for RAM, let's, here we go. Oh, actually, let me recommend you these ones. Especially because I feel like this is no longer the minimum now. There we go. Why the hell is it typing like that? There we go. That'll take you to the RAM. And so far, and now the power supply. We're already almost on your list, Farrison. Let's see. Here goes a good one. This one should be pretty much on sale. Let me get you the... Yeah, this one's a good one. $850 will do. That's a good one. And SSD. And we'll all unveil the list shortly. Let's go with... Let's load 10 more. Because you don't have to get NVIDIA E5 if you want to. But it's nearly the same price. So I'll just share this one with you anyway. If you feel it's a bit too high, you can always change it out. So far we got the graphics card, we got the processor, we got the motherboard, RAM, your SSD, you got your power supply, and all you need is a wonderful case. And I don't know if you had any specific case in mind, but we can certainly... There is some wonderful cases out here. Let me see. Especially the newer cases. And this one's a decent case. Shouldn't be too expensive, especially that they released their new ones. In fact, let me look up their newer ones. I use Brave on my phone since it has an ad block on YouTube. And when that's funny. That is nice. That's what I like about Brave, but for some reason it doesn't sync right on my phone. Like I tried to sync it correctly, but it still doesn't. It just does not want to work. So I'm on PC cases. I'm least knowledgeable in UEFI BIOS settings. I get it. It's always a weakness of most people when they first get into PC building, and that's understandable because it's a lot to take in. But once you understand it, then it's really not as bad. I just chuckled at this case because I know you guys would get a kick out of this one. Let me show you what I'm looking at, guys, so that way it doesn't look like I'm staring into oblivion. But I chuckled at this case. I know Wasabi will get a kick out of it, which is... Where's it at? This one. You see it? You see it, Wasabi? Well, let me go back for the mobile guys out there. Doesn't that remind you of Project Wood? Some of the links aren't working on UK Amazon, but if I can get the part... Oh, okay. Okay. Let me see. Yeah. It should say the part, I think, too, right? Let me try this. In fact, oh wait, this is a better deal. I found a better deal for you. Actually get this RAM instead. Just copying this link. There you go. That's that one. Let me take off the other one, because that's a better deal. I'll remove this. I miss a YouTube revamps extended or pirated YouTube. And we'll get back to that test for the benchmark for Cyberpunk 2077 on Xbox ROG Ally X. Let me remove that. Let me see if I can find this one. Why did I type that? The C850, the NZXT C850. Decent power supply. Yes, better deal. That's what we want to see. I found a DDR5 for 32 gig bytes for 62. That's not bad. There you go. Feel free to share it on Discord. I'm sending it through questions and the answers right now. Feel free to share the link, and I'll delete the other link that I have, if anything. Let me delete this one. I'm deleting all the ones he can't access. So, let me see. Let's see if we can find them a 2 terabyte drive that's cheaper. That's a good starting point. Or even 4. Let's see if there's actually some cheap 4 terabyte ones. There you go. The only 244. That's not bad. Oh, 179. That's 2 terabytes though. Yeah, let's go Crucial. How about Fantix? That's a good one. Check out Kingston. Okay. How about Fantix AM? Alright. I like what I'm hearing in chat. I'm glad everyone's kicking in. Okay. Yeah, let's look that one up too. I'm gonna just send all the links here. Alright, Fantix. We'll go with this one here. I've added the question mark. Oh, that's a good choice actually. But this, do they have it available? It might have it sent it in Discord. Awesome. Okay, so the Patriot Viper Venom. Okay, so I'll forward this over to him so he can see it. If he can't find it, I appreciate everyone helping him out, especially on his PC build here. He's gonna appreciate it. These are. Is there any repeats? No. I removed any of the extras. This is just recommended. The one that Blue and Lily has sent is one he recommends you. This is going to be the same as Corsair's Vengeance RGB, just to let you know. But you can have the pick of either one, just to give you a heads up. So when it comes to cases, we all like wooden cases, right? We all like this one. I'm kidding. We're not gonna recommend you a wood case. What is up with that, man? What is up with that? Okay. So let's go. Any cases that anyone likes to recommend as well. I know 3500X is an excellent case. Let me see. Let me look it up actually. I don't feel like going through all their cases. Oh, I apologize, guys. I hit the wrong key. There you go. Go back to the browser. There we go. There it is. 3500X. But that's white. Oh, they don't have this US. Yeah, unfortunately they don't. But they might have it in the UK. That's the thing. Since he's in the UK, they could actually have it there. Now, if you want to go black, you can. It's a little bit more, but it's not that expensive, actually, this case. I'll send it over. That's the case. We got the SSD. We got power supply. And that's it. You're going to need thermal paste. Oh, it's cooler. You're going to need a cooler. Corsair's IQ Link RGB. Oh, okay. Perfect. Go for it. It sounds like you got the case that you want. You don't want to do a Minecraft build with wood blocks. Recommend it in Discord. Okay. Gotcha. It was click. Montech. Oh, that's a good one. That is a good case. I do recommend that case, in fact. That's an excellent case. But I think he has his mindset. It sounds like he wants the 9000D RGB airflow case. Let me go back here. But yeah, let's find them a CPU. How about CPU cooler, guys? What would be nice for a CPU cooler for a build like this? I mean, you could go Corsair since he has a Corsair case anyway. You'll have IQ practically. Or we can go to, let's see. I'm just trying to click the link up here. It won't let me. Okay. So, H150i LCD. How's that sound? Oh, that one's a dope one. For 265, that's not bad. And that one's nice. I like this. The TRYX for 265 isn't bad. Thoughts on Arctic cooling? Arctic cooling is also pretty decent too. Their cases are awesome, and also their IOs are really good. Yeah, Arctic cooling can go. It seems like Corsair has a low supply of their LCD, unless they got a different naming scheme. Okay, yeah, they're good too. But since he has a Corsair case, I'll let him decide what he wants to do on that side. Well, because it'll blend a bit better. It'll be a lot easier for him to control his RGBs if he goes Corsair, I feel, compared to having some problems with IQ, because sometimes IQ can conflict. So, PC components. But I do like the idea. What we could also recommend it. Ignore my choices, my cases. You guys, you do your things. Oh, okay. So how about this? We go Arctic. We'll go Arctic. I like Xenomorph's idea because then you don't really have to deal with Corsair, which is a good thing. 360 Nautilus. Okay. How about this? So Farrison, how about we take a look at some of these coolers, and you let me know which one you prefer. I only said that case because as a friend. Oh, okay. Oh, he's going to be giving it away. I mean, it's a free case. You can take it. 360 Nautilus ARGB. There you go. This would be it right here. And it would go well with your case. It doesn't, you don't have to get the LCD option if you don't want. And this would be actually a great choice. Yes. Oh, that was weird. The fans just kicked on. Wonder why. You hear that, guys? Maybe because I went to sleep. So, off of the ray tracing side, we got 29.27. Just to let you know, for some reason the fans kicked on. I don't know why, but that could just be because it was like going in practically in the sleep mode. But how about suggestions for? I used to have 4000D Corsair modular, nothing fancy but looks nice. That's all. I do like the 4000Ds. It's like the OG when it comes to Corsair cases. How about suggestion for CPU air coolers that have large LCD displays? I'm not quite ready to go liquid cooling. If you're not, okay, so if you prefer like AIO type, oh no, CPU air coolers, not very common. I gotta say, I don't think I've seen any. I could be wrong though. Has anybody seen any air cooling for? Is there a Discord channel to display PC builds? Oh yeah, yeah, it's right here. Let me just send it. Xbox helicopter. It was pretty. It's funny. They have to have that signature, right? That was really weird. This is the see if I type it, if it comes up, it doesn't. If somebody else types it, it probably comes up. That's weird. Why does it say I'm logged in just on one? That's so weird. Yes, thank you. For some reason, that was really weird. Okay. Yeah, if you join there, it's going to be, I'll tell you what side. If you want to display your builds and everything, show it off in, you'll see Silicon Gallery. I put battle stations. This is a new place where you can show your PC builds. It's going to be the top one. So feel free to post all your pictures. I can post a picture up there real quick just to give you, or actually, you can mention something and I could tag you in, and then you can see it. But it'll be in the battle station side. So when it comes over to the, okay, so let's get over to the, let me see. We're looking at coolers, so this is certainly one. I apologize for taking a bit, but this is one that I can recommend. If you prefer more of like an LCD display, you want that kind of like a customizable display where you can put what you want, I'll put that too. So these two are going to be options. So you could either go this one, or we can go for the, let me see if they even have it in stock. That's what I went on their store for. PC components, CPU cooling, and let's see if they actually have it. So they've got the air coolers. Here it is, Elite LCD. I feel like, no, that can't be right. Huh. They're out of stock of it. So, you know what? If that's the case, maybe they'll be in stock over there. I'm not sure. Or they're going to change something up, it seems. RTX CPU coolers. No. That was somebody else that actually requested it, I think. Don't give me the options as all confused. I'll be upgrading the delay monitor. I gotcha. No, that was someone else that mentioned it. That was, who mentioned it? Sorry, officer. Sorry, officer mentioned it. Let me see. That's a Prime LC. Man, they are cutting it close here. Let's see. I know they have it. They got this one, but this, how about this one? The Liquid Freezer 3 360 ARGB. This one's not as expensive. This one doesn't have the LCD. We can recommend this one. It's not expensive. It's also compatible with AM5. It's a good deal. Let's go to their store, in fact. And we can look at their CPU water coolers, liquid. That seems to be their best model here. So I would say definitely this one then. Okay, I'll share this one over. This one's an Arctic. This would be how about this? I'll say this. I'll reply to this and say no. This one would be great for a Corsair build. This one is better for a non-Corsair case. There we go. Hopefully that makes more sense. I apologize if it just gave you two options at the end and that was it. But mostly, okay, got Marco typing in too. So any LCD screens that you recommend to add to my case when I get it. So if you want, if you want to go LCD, so neighbor realized he wasn't like, yeah, he's like, I got to be known. Any LCDs you recommend to add to my case when I get it? Certainly. There's quite a few manufacturers out there that actually have some different LCD displays. I think Corsair actually came out with their own version. I know Height has theirs. TYRX is another. But it's certainly, I'll definitely take a look into it and I'll share it with you as soon as I get some more information on that. But I want to make sure what type of case you have so that way before we start adding any more LCD displays to it. So Farrison, if you also need help with the mouse and keyboard, feel free to let us know. There's a there's so many of them that you can certainly pick from. Do you prefer to game on a mouse and keyboard, or do you prefer to use a controller? Either way is good to start off, but eventually you might end up using a mouse and keyboard too. Thermal rate also has, yes. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm quite curious to see why it did that. It figures it would do that, right? Like when it ends up like turning on the whole fans here. So we're gonna click OK here. So we're going to go back to the settings. And okay. So we have it on custom. You know what I almost did? I almost put it into overdrive mode. Could you imagine how it would run with the overdrive mode? Okay, so we're gonna run this benchmark. Now this is at 1920 by 1080p, so it's at full 1080p display. So we're gonna see how that runs. I got a Wooting 80 HE, perfect, and a Logitech G Pro Superlight. Sounds like all you need is the PC now, and you have your display ready. Does the case even fit a 360? If it's a 9000, it should. It certainly should. A Corsair 9000. Have you seen that beast? It's like this. You're gonna be like, oh wow. If he's giving it away, it's a monster. Why is it zoomed in like that? Okay, let me share it with you guys. Looks like this, right? Look at that thing. 4. You can put up to 4 fans. You can look at this guy. For some reason, what the? Now that's just overkill. What is that? RX 9070 XT. I'm glad you hear that, Blue. I know, that's what I said. Yes, take it. It's a $500 case, just to let you know. It's not a cheap case. 9000D is not a cheap case. Look at that. What is the point of this? Why do you have stacked fans? I know that you can do in and out, right? But that just absolutely makes no sense to do so. They had to do this just for aesthetic purposes. Look that doesn't look clean, man. That doesn't look very clean in there. He and Raf are moving to Japan. He can't take it. Either throwing it, yeah. Take it. 100% take it. It's a free case. It's again a $500 case. Don't get the case I recommended. If you could get the 5000, the Corsair 5000, get it. That's 100% a win. But that's what the case is. You'll have plenty of room to build in it. I know, that's what I said. Like, it doesn't look clean. Like, for some reason, I don't know who put the coolant in there, but that's insane. Take a look at that. 2 480s. And then you could have one crazy setup for sure. But I do like how they got this whole mounting system. That's dope. And it makes it way easier when they do things like this, because when you actually install the case fans, it makes it easier because you don't have to do it on the case. You just install it right here and then you push it into your case. So it makes it so much easier. And then this is what I was talking about. If you get the Corsair cooler, as I mentioned, which was that first one that I showed you, it comes with the IQ hub. So that way you can be able to just directly connect it to here, and it makes it so much easier for you too. Look at that. It even has eyes. Oh man. What's up, Egyptian? Is there a way you can add all these items to a list so I can yeah, sure. I could do it. Is there a way I can yeah. Let me see. Let me just go back. All I have to do is this is what I have to do. Yeah, no problem. Isn't that case insane though? Like, who would have thought of something like that? Right now, here we go. Create list. And okay. So I'm working on it now. Just give me a moment and you should be pretty much good. And if you end up, like, if you don't end up getting the case for some reason, let me know. And I will certainly help you out with picking out a case. But for everybody's information out there, if you're curious, a lot of cases can fit up to 360 now. Most cases do. Before that was an issue, but nah, now it's not as much of an issue anymore. My case is an ASUS GT301 Red Zaku. Oh, dope. Gas prices in Egypt are crazy. How much is it? How much is 1 liter? It's got to be quite insane. So right now I'm just putting together this list. And I also got to change the display setting too. Speaking of which, I'm going to put it into 720p when it comes to the ASUS ROG Ally X Xbox Edition. And you're going to see like a big drastic jump in frames, I gotta say. Wow, what? That is crazy. Why is it so crazy expensive? Have you done? Oh man. Yeah, how do you know? So, right now I'm just putting everything together here. I'm almost done. What the? Yeah, isn't that insane? 1 liter. How'd everything go with the how's everything going with school so far, Egyptian? A gold crucial. I'm not going to throw that one on there. Ain't no way it's $20 per liter. Yep, 20 bucks. 200, 900. That is insane. That should be, like, you would think that type of pricing would be illegal. Okay, perfect. I think that is everything. Let me just double check the list to make sure I got it right. List. There we go. And let me see. Okay, perfect. Oh. Here we go. Share. All right. Where'd it go? I'm just making the link now for you. And here we go. Share it. Holy cow. Yeah, no problem. Let me see. There we go. Just give me a moment. Apologize. It's taking a little bit longer than I thought to create this link. Huh. I think I know why. Okay. Just give me a moment. I think I gotta... Because I think I added to my personal list. So I just gotta transfer it over. With 20 minutes, I'm gonna have to get... He's bringing... Oh, perfect. That's gonna be great. The average salary here is $5,000 a month. It's a high... That's not bad. That's actually really good. That's an excellent salary. You know what it is? It's definitely this. Just give me a moment. And working on it. I'll definitely do it off. Here we go. And I see. Let's see. All right. So, well, if my YouTube channel becomes successful, I will be able... Yeah, you could go ahead and do that build finally. And Hungary, the average salary is said to be $1,800, which is a huge lie. Well, I gotta say, like, yeah, it's always interesting to hear like all the different salaries that people make in different areas. Let me see. I think I know why I got this extension on. All right, let me see. So right now, let me put this. There we go. It's so crazy how they got it set up like this. This in. Oh, okay. I see what I did there. There we go. I have to do that. Okay. Now I can throw everything in here. Okay, now I can select everything. There you go. Whew. Turn your house into a server warehouse. Hey, it's highly profitable. that. Perfect. There we go. And submit. And all I have to do is put it here. Now let me see if I can. There you go. It might take a little bit to load, but it's going to. So I got to be able to put that list together like you want it, Harrison. No, I didn't see Peacemaker 2 yet. I want to play CSW so bad. Oh man, that laptop's a little rough, I gotta say. That 10th gen. Hopefully, let me know if it works out for you. Just all you have to do is click the link. It should take you directly to the UK version if it does. If it's missing anything, let me know. Apparently, you got to sell one of your kidneys and some for 10. Yeah, that's insane. So what I'm going to do with this now is I'm going to switch this over to 720 and see. Oh, hear it? The fan's kicking on already? Sounds just like turning on a console right now. And that's probably because I already have like Cyberpunk open. And but it's not hot though, which is the weird part. It's not hot at all. So I just gotta go back to the settings here. There we go. And let's go up here. And we're gonna go to the video side. I'm gonna switch it over to, and I'm gonna turn it over to, let's see, 1280 by 720. And I guarantee you it's gonna have quite the difference. Windows board list, windowed, full screen, apply. There we go. Only thing is when you do something like this, it does take away from the visual experience because it gets like slightly a bit blurry. So we'll go back to the settings here and we'll run the benchmark now and we'll run it on low settings and see how well it runs. And do we have it set? And we have it set on turbo mode. So we'll run it, which is about 25 watts. When you plug it in, it could go up as high as up to 35 watts on the Xbox Ally X. Apparently you can sell one of your kidneys in some countries for, yeah. I mean, they do it all the time, and I'm sure you've heard of organ harvesting in China. I can already hear yeah. Is it my Asira Predator Helios 300, the 11800H melts true that plays Cyberpunk. Oh man. Did you ever, I know most people when they have laptops they'll hook up the accessories to it for the fans and to try to keep it nice and cool, but I know it doesn't always work 100% that way. Oh wow. Insane. Is that, oh, that's pretty dope though. It looks like the dream. I gotta say, it looks like the dream, guys. Take a look. I'll share this by Discord by Wasabi here. Cyber. You can work out and do your and work on your PC at the same time. Nice. That is nice. So now we're gonna enter. Now I think we can officially have enough members. We'll go into the. Soon we'll have like what I'll probably end up featuring later is definitely do like some members only live since we got enough people practically now soon. Gaming laptops are the biggest scam. In fact, some people buy 3,000. I agree. You know what the biggest scam about it is? Like, for example, they have the 5090 laptops. But remember, when it comes to laptops, it's just like you can't really push the wattage like you can on a desktop. On a desktop, you can really push it. You can push it up to the full 600 watts, right, of RTX 5090. But you can't do that with a laptop that RTX 5090 has a certain minimum. It has not a certain minimum. It has a certain maximum it can go. So you can't really push it portably, like physically, like physics-wise. You can't. You got to really think about it. Physics-wise, you cannot really have put more wattage. You could put more wattage, but it's just gonna die a lot quicker if that was the case. And the most you're really going to end up pushing out of the GPU is not much. It's going to be the same as like the RTX 4090 and the RTX 3090. It's no different, laptop version wise anyway. Especially the 5. Yes, the biggest. those are the biggest ripples. Yes, for pretty much for 200 watts. Yeah, pretty much. That's what I'm saying. Like you're going to, and it's the same across the board. Whether you got 4090 or even the 3090, they're like about the same because you're maxing out at so much already on a laptop as it is. Especially for you pay the 5090 price. Yeah. All right, fam. So guys, I will be back. I gotta start working on this Xbox Ally X. Make sure to stay tuned for more content here. And let me share what Takuma has shared before I do end up leaving. Takuma, that is the collection, man. That is quite nice. Oh, 3070 is 115. Oh, yeah, that's what I mean. It doesn't make any sense, right, Xenomorph? It is completely, makes no sense to even do it. But I appreciate everyone for coming in. Thank you, Wasabi. Thank you, Takuma. Thank you all for joining in. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in Discord. If you guys need to reach out, you know where to find me. But yeah, Takuma, man. Yeah, that's going with a bang, I gotta say. And let's see how far we can push it. And of course, before we go, I did the benchmark for everyone who is curious with the Xbox Ally X to see where it's at when it comes to 720. It really just went to a standby mode for a second here. So I just want to show you. It's so funny when it does this. So you can see how much of a difference you can get when it's at 720. It's at 72, so it's much more playable at that scenario. 77, I'm sorry, 77.05. So you can see it's much more playable in that type of scenario, portably anyway. So we'll do more testing, see how far we can really push this, and with optimizations and everything too. By the way, I bought the Oris White. Oh, goals! That is awesome. Love that you did that. I can't wait to see how your build looks like, and hopefully you stream the build. It would be nice if you did. So, bam, guys, thank you guys, and I appreciate you, Ferris, and I thank you for joining the channel as well, and I thank everybody, all of you. Much love to Xenomorph, Simply Takuma, Wasabi, all you guys out there. Thank you guys, appreciate it, and catch you soon.